Hello fellow Aliens fans, this is Solid Dave Snake, bringing you my final review on NECA's Alien Series 3 action figures. And in this final review, we're going to be going all the way back to the original Alien movie and the original host for the Xenomorph, which is Kane. And I am actually really impressed with this action figure. I really wasn't looking forward to this action figure as much as the other two in this series, but after getting it, this would have to be my second favorite after the dog alien. I really like what they did with this figure since they weren't able to get the actual actor's likeness for a real head sculpt. What they did with the facehugger is just great, and the suit and detail overall with this figure is just incredible. And there's a lot to go over, so we're just going to jump right into him, and we'll start going over his accessories first, which are great accessories for this action figure. First of all, if you see in his right hand here, he has the flashlight that all the members of that original movie from the Nostromo, whenever they went into the alien spacecraft, they all had these flashlights. And it's very basic, nothing too special about it, but it is a great representation of the flashlight from the movie. It's got a little knob on the back, handle on the top, which he holds really nice in that right hand. And the end of the light has this kind of reflective surface that really adds that nice detail to kind of show like a light. So I really thought that was neat. So that's one great accessory for him. And then we have on his right hip something that they never actually used in the movie. They're described as laser guns. And this does fit right within this kind of, not a holster, but kind of a strap. The way it fits in here, it fits around the handle and down here at the bottom of the barrel. And it's kind of simple to take off. You just have to get it over that handle, and then this piece will slide right out. And I'll give you a closer look at it. Now, we probably will be getting this accessory a couple more times. And the next series are supposed to have Dallas in that Nostromo spacesuit as well. And I'm pretty sure he'll come with this too. I don't know if Ripley will or not, but there's supposed to be two versions of her in the next series, which I'm really looking forward to. But just overall, it's got a black paint scheme with some silver dry brushing to it, and then red on the tip of the barrel here. So pretty neat accessory. And then his helmet is pretty much like an accessory in itself. And I'll give you a good look at it before I break it down and take it off here. Show you guys how to do that. But I really like how they did this with the surface of the glass, because that's exactly how it got through in the movie. Burning through with acid to get into the actual face inside of this mask. And I always loved the design of these suits. They kind of remind me of that, kind of like Deep Six, or like an old diving type suit. Kind of reminds me of the outfits in the BioShock game, if you're familiar with that. So it's definitely pretty neat. And it kind of has that bronzy type look all over with this green coloring through, making it look like it's been oxidized. I really think that's neat. Just a ton of sculpted detail all through this helmet. And right here in the back, these tubes actually connect in here, and I'll pull this bigger one out, and you'll have to pull the smaller one out too to take all this off. But they just fit right in the little hole there and the bigger hole here for the smaller and longer or thicker tubing. So great details all around, and all the dials and little buttons here in the back. A lot of sculpted detail through here. And something I wanted to show you, it actually just fell off. There's a little piece that I haven't super glued back on because I wanted you guys to be aware. If you buy this, this will come off very easily right here, and it just clips right back on. But I'll need to super glue it to get it to permanently stay fixed on there. So just be careful for that if you get this. It is an easy fix. You'll be able to just super glue it. But the way to take off this helmet, it comes in two different pieces. Right here, you just twist this upper portion off. And as you can see, that little piece fell off again. But that just slides right off, or twists right off. And you can start to see the face hugger underneath. And this piece actually clips in to where his actual clothing is here. And it'll just pull right off, and then you can turn it sideways once you get those hoses free in the back and pull right off. And you can see where these indentations are here, and they just go right inside here on the front side and the back side. They will clip in here. But now that we have that off, let's start taking a closer look at this figure overall, and start off with this head, which is excellent. They did a great job with the face hugger. Looks exactly like how it looked whenever it was attached to him on the movie. It actually is a softer plastic. I'm not brave enough to peel off this face hugger to see what kind of sculpt is underneath, but I figure it's pretty basic since they weren't able to get the actor's likeness. Always love that spider type look to these face huggers. And of course its tail's wrapped around his neck. So I'm very happy with this. I think it's really neat that we have got a figure with a face hugger, because we have not got a face hugger accessory yet in this NECA line. And for Kane being the original host to the Xenomorph, I think it's very fitting having this figure. And we'll just continue to look at him. Move on down here. There are a lot of different pieces to this outfit, a lot of different color schemes going on everywhere. Right here at the shoulders, these pieces are actually a softer type of plastic, which is nice for the movement in the arms. And kind of has that bronze and oxidated look to it, just like here on the chest plate, which has his name across the front. Kane, you can read out there. And they just chose a nice yellow color scheme with this suit to match how it looked in the movie. I love all the threading work through here. It all looks natural. The cloth pieces really do look like cloth with the way they have it sculpted with all these little notches and everything. Just details like this little piece on the wrist here, this little gadget. And then down to the gloves, looking just like the gloves out of the movie. This excellent detail. With all the straps going around the figure. On the back, there is a lot of detail on this, what I take is his breathing unit. With the valves up here and different knobs everywhere. He just looks very thick with all the padding all over. Really well done. I'm loving the variation in the yellows of this suit. A lot of different colors going on here. All the straps running in the back look great. I'm not exactly 100% sure what this logo is. Is that for the Nostromo? I'm not sure. If you know, please put in the comments down below. More detail with the threading through here. And here's one gripe that I have on this figure that I will point out back here. These joint pieces, they actually were colored to look like part of the suit. You can see how there's yellow there. But if you notice on this side, how there's chipping going on. And that has happened from bending the joints. They're so tight that it will rub off that paint. And it has also happened for my piece up here on the elbow. You can see that is all black there now. Where this side I haven't even moved it, and you can tell it's still yellow. So just be wary of that whenever you get this figure. Just know if you're going to be bending these joints that you will have paint rub. But besides that, it's really a minor gripe for such a great, highly detailed figure. More padding down here on the legs. A lot of color variation. Look at all these different colors of yellow, different shades of yellow. And down to the space boots, which look real thick and fit in nice with the rest of the suit. No detail on the bottom, but that's fine for this figure. These boots are pretty basic anyhow. So, a lot going on with this figure. And articulation wise, he's really pretty good for as bulky as this is. Some of the joints are restricted from the bulkiness, but all in all, he has great articulation for what he is. Of course, he has a ball joint at the head, which will look that far down and that far back and rotate all the way around, but I'm not going to do that on camera with the way that the tail is on the face hugger. I don't want it getting caught. And on the shoulders, he's got a ball joint and a hinge, which will extend very far up because of those shoulder pads being pliable, and would rotate all the way around, but I'm not going to do it because of those shoulder pads. And he has a cut right here at the bicep, but both of mine are seized up. I cannot get them to move whatsoever. I guess I could take a hair dryer to them, but really it's almost an unnecessary articulation point, so I'm not even worried about it. And at the elbow, he does have a single hinge, which you can't get too much movement out of. It is restricted there. That's about all you're going to get, really, is up to that point, which is fine. And on the hand, he has a ball joint, which is a little restricted just because of the bulkiness, but you can get him rotated all the way around with that hand and about that far up and that far down. And this is very interesting, the way they did his torso. He has a couple different cuts here. He's got one right here. He's got that ab crunch, which will go that far forward and about that far back. And he has another one right down here, which you can get some swivel out of and a little bit of a crunch, but as you can see, that plate's going to be bending while you're doing that. And yeah, be wary of this hand because it does fall off easy on mine. I don't know if it's just mine or if others will be like that as well, but it just pops right back in real easy. And here at the hips, he's got some great articulation with the ball joints. Most NECA figures do. I mean, you would never need him to do that far of a split, but he does with those ball joints. And he will kick about that far forward and about that far back. And there goes my hand again. And you can get some swivel there too. And he has that single hinge at the knee, which will go about that far back, which is pretty good for this suit, and back straight. And of course you can get some swivel out of it too. And he has a ball joint on both feet, which will get that far down and that far up, and of course rotate from side to side. So all in all, I was really impressed with this figure, and like I said, we are going to be getting a couple more Nostromo suits. We got Dallas coming up in the next wave. Who'll be in it, so I'm not too I really can't complain about them reusing this. I think this is an excellent mold and looks really good, and will look good once we have all these characters together. So thanks for watching, guys, and as always, stay tuned, because I will be doing the next series of Alien figures as well. Series 4, like I said, we have Dallas in it and 2 versions of Ripley. So stay tuned for those when they come out. Thanks, guys.